When the ground started shaking, I thought it was just another minor quake that would pass as quickly as it came. But when the trembling earth split open in my backyard, revealing a deep, ominous fissure, I felt an inexplicable chill run down my spine. As I cautiously approached the opening, something gleamed from within the darkness. It was an artifact, ancient and encrusted with dirt, seeming to pulse with an eerie energy. I should have left it there, buried and forgotten. But curiosity got the better of me, and as I brushed off the dirt, the atmosphere around me shifted. It felt as if the shadows themselves were whispering, urging me to listen. That night, as I lay in bed, the whispers grew louder, forming words that danced just beyond comprehension. A presence loomed in the shadows of my room, unseen but undeniably there. It was the entity, awakened by my discovery, its intent clear yet unfathomable. Each night, it grew bolder, its whispers transforming into a haunting voice that echoed in my mind. It spoke of power long lost, of a world that had forgotten its true masters, and of a reckoning that was long overdue. I tried to ignore it, tried to convince myself it was just my imagination, but deep down, I knew I had made a grave mistake. In desperation, I researched the artifact, hoping to find some way to appease the entity. The more I learned, the more I realized the extent of what I had unleashed. The artifact was a key, a tether to a force beyond human comprehension. I reached out to experts, historians, anyone who might help, but each lead ended in a dead end, leaving me more isolated and frantic. The entity's presence grew stronger, manifesting as shadows that moved with a life of their own, wrapping around me like cold, spectral fingers. It was no longer content to remain in the background, and each night, it drew closer to reclaiming the power it had been denied for centuries. The climax came one stormy night, when the whispers reached a deafening crescendo. Lightning flashed, illuminating the room, and in its brief light, I saw it, an entity of darkness, its form shifting like smoke. It reached out with a tendril of shadow, touching the artifact that lay beside my bed. A surge of energy filled the room, and I was thrown back, slamming into the wall with a force that knocked the breath from my lungs. When I regained my senses, the entity was gone. But the artifact was shattered. Despite the silence that followed, I knew the entity had succeeded in reclaiming its power. And now, the world would have to pay the price for my curiosity.